Yo YouTube, welcome back to another video, and a lot of you guys have been asking what is the new best team for this update, and a lot of you guys have been waiting for it. I've seen a lot of comments even on my latest videos, and it's just a thing where every update you guys kind of rely on me, and so yeah, I'll provide you guys with the best team every update. But for now, this team, I'd say for this update, it was quite hard because there's like a lot of team variations you can do. So like this is one of the teams that I will be showcasing to you, like the main team I'll be showcasing to you guys. The reason for this is I will just explain each reason. So Luffy is here for support, and his DPS is as a solo unit. Yeah, his base DPS solo just by himself, he can do roughly like 25 million DPS on a boss. Because if you utilize his transformation, you know, this one right here, and have all his like damage, so like he had the 100% from here, utilize the all these ones, get him to 300% meter within like 70, well, I think 68 seconds. If you do it correctly, you can build 300% meter on one enemy. And if you use, of course, double E, you can pretty much get like 25 million DPS just Luffy alone. It's like 22 million DPS, and then with Sukina's amp, it goes to 25 million DPS. And of course, Luffy is also providing us with the support right here, where he's giving all our allies joy. And having allies with joy just allowed them to apply soft debuffs. So you got the slow from here as well, and you got all the other stats effects, whether it be slumber. What else is there? You got slumber for the stun. You got infinite spin, which is very helpful as well. And of course, he's allowing us to get basically map wide repulse. So Luffy is doing a lot for this team. Sukuna is another crazy unit. Let me just get into. I've got him already here. And yeah, with Sukuna, he's going to be, of course, doing a lot of damage. That's what he's there for. His main purpose in this team is damage. And of course, he has the amplification via Agito. And that gives us, of course, 30% increased damage and map-wide immunity. So yeah, it means that, of course, it can make Thingy immune. But I'm pretty sure he's already immune to status effects, right? Yeah. But yeah, he's doing a lot through that. And of course, his DPS is crazy as well. So with this team, you can pretty much get Sukuna to such a high overhead where even though he's losing a lot of damage, like 80% damage, with Urza and Subaru, he can make up a lot of damage. And then, of course, next unit, you got, of course, Urza for the buff. And any, like, I think this bleed can be converted into burn, so if you want to use that as well, you can just, like, get a bit of extra DPS from her. Nothing crazy, but it's not a bit too much damage. A bit more extra damage, I guess. And then for Finon, pretty much what he's doing, if you haven't seen the video I made on him, you can check it out. He is a map-wide nuke doing roughly like 111 million damage or 110 million damage map-wide. And he applies this debuff called Destruction. And what debuff does, it makes it so enemies bypass 70% of their, like, they take 70% more like damage. You can just bypass the damage reduction by 70%. And makes you do double damage to overshield enemies, which is very useful, you know? On certain stages, yeah, where enemies and bosses just have overshield. And they'll, of course, you can bring Whitebeard to remove it, but you're not really going to bring Whitebeard into this team. And then Subaru is, of course, helping with Finon stacks, and because when he's using abilities, he's getting stacks as well, getting extra damage, and of course, he applies 4 stacks. So for Finon, we got 3 stacks from Urza and 4 stacks from Subaru. And the last lot would be a farm, so let me just bring in, like, I guess, Nami. If you wanna go take this, like, I guess, a step further, you could bring Ainz, use the Curse Summons, and of course, bring Nami as a Caloric Stone unit, or Finon as a Caloric Stone unit, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, what's nice about Finon's Memoria is he's getting pretty much like 220% amplification, or damage amp from just damage reduction. You got the 30% from here, the 80% from here, that's 110%. You got an extra 10% from there, that's 120%. And then Destruction giving him another 70%, so that's another, like, was it 190%? And then 20% from here. I think it's like 210, maybe like 210, but like it's 210, 220% damage reduction bypass. And that becomes an amplification for him. So that's this whole team. Luffy is doing a lot because he's allowing us to get like so much like stalling, and of course he got the map wide nuke here as well, and just a lot of damage as well. So I'll showcase to you guys the team DPS, and I'll test it on a moving boss as well to see how well the stall is as well. Okay guys, so I have things set up how I want it to be. So with using Finon, you want to make him in a way where he can utilize his line AoE, because you want him to always apply Destruction. That's one thing with him. And as you guys can see, I am running Deadeye on his Memoria. The difference between Deadeye and Divinity is quite small, but I think Deadeye is slightly better. and it is more consistent because you do want it to crit. If he doesn't crit, you basically lose a lot of damage. So having Deadeye is slightly better in my opinion. And then I'm running this burb right on him as well. So you got 90% damage, 3.4% blast damage, 42% crit damage, and 24% crit chance. And then for Sukuna, I am running this burb right here. This one don't matter, but 29, 36, 27, and 24. And then Luffy, I am running, or Sukuna's Memoria, I'm running Contagious as well. It is better for Sukuna's variant because of the amount of DOT damage he is doing. And then for Luffy, I'm running this burb right here, which gives him, of course, water damage and a lot of crit damage and range and crit chance. And his own Memoria with Divinity. And then Subaru, you're going to be running a Fu. And then for Urza, you're going to be running Black Spirit plus her own Memoria. This way you can alternate between each form and get that 30% extra damage from, 20% extra damage for 30 seconds. And usually I do test against a boss, but I'll test against a regular enemy because boss won't really be consistent because you get that extra 30% on Sukuna. So yeah, I'll just test against a regular enemy. So I'll place it like right here. I'll do it against like a enemy like that's not moving, and then an enemy that is moving afterwards. So from like, let's go here. So I'll just showcase the DPS like this, just like this for now. Not gonna be going into Luffy's form, just like this for now. So yeah, not using Luffy's form at all. Okay, let me turn indicators off to Loki. It's just impossible to see. But yeah, you can see the amount of damage Fanon is doing. It's a lot of damage. You got the repulse as well. You got all these stats effects as well. So Luffy's even getting amplified by these as well. It works so well. I might switch to full, Blitz Subaru so he has lower SPA. You could also give him Speed Boost Memoria as well, just so he attacks quicker. So you can get like more stats effects on the boss or enemy. And I think it's been roughly a minute. I'll give me like, I guess I'll give it like 10 more seconds and I'll put on screen how long it's been. And for the minute, I'll do over a minute, just 60 seconds. So damage over 60 seconds, I'll put on screen right now. Okay guys, so roughly, within that 60 seconds, this team did 40 million, well, I'd say 40 million DPS. Final might have missed a few crits because, bro, when I was testing him earlier, even though I had 80% crit chance, this guy was missing like so many crits. And yeah, Luffy's just providing a lot with the repulse and of course all these stats effects as well, which is very nice. But yeah, DPS wise, you can see Sukuna is probably the main unit for this. Then it goes like Sukuna into Finon into Luffy. And for the next one, I'm gonna be utilizing Luffy properly. And what I mean by that is, let me just skip some waves. So like wave 30, you get a stronger enemy. I'll get Luffy's crit chance to 100%. And then I'll make sure he gets that extra 100% from this. And actually do it over 70 seconds, utilizing Luffy's transformation and let Finon the rest of the units do their own shit as well. So I'll bring back the recording once I'm ready. Okay, as you can see, I have everything set up really, and we're gonna let Luffy get some crit chance stacks in, and once we are there, I'll pretty much do like a, I think 70-second test on the boss because Loki, it will take 70 seconds to get roughly 300% meter, and then we can use the double E nuke to do, of course, however much damage it does. I think there's like 1 billion or some shit. It might do like that much damage, which is crazy. So let me get to it at least like, I guess 65% crit chance. I guess I'll go 70. I could go 100%, but that'll take too long. But yeah, everything is set up ideally how I want it to be. And yeah, Finon, I don't have him autoed for now, just so I don't do so much damage, but I'll turn on auto before we go into this. So I guess 2 more hits, please. 2 more hits. Yeah, 1 more hit and I'll just use this. I'll auto this, and next time he hits, we'll calculate the damage from there. So there we go, 65%. We'll go exactly now, so let's go. Q into M1s into R into M1s into T into Q into F, into T, into Q, into R, you can just keep doing N1s for now. We'll be using a Shift T and then a Q into a double E. So a Q into a Shift T, and then a few more M1s, and then we'll end it with a double E. And there we go. So I think it was 2.83. It was at 2.83. I'll calculate it from there, and I'll put the DPS on the screen of what we did for, I think it was like 70 seconds maybe, or 72 seconds. Alright guys, so looking at the test over, I think it was 70 seconds that we did manage to get the Shift T off, and then the double E nuke, which is this one right here. And we managed to do roughly how much damage? You can see 4.18 billion damage over 70 seconds, and of course divided by 70, you get the damage, the DPS of course for that damage per second, and we got, it's 59, basically 60 million DPS, which is kind of crazy. And I didn't even get Luffy to 100% crit chance, so you can of course theoretically estimate 60 million DPS. I would like to say, yeah, you know the Yamamoto team, the one that did the 80 million DPS, that video I posted ages ago? I don't know if it was just me, maybe I made a mistake in the video, or maybe something's been changed on that team, but that team does not get 80 million DPS anymore, so this team is by far the strongest team. And you got Luffy's, of course, support, allowing you to repulse, and of course slow, and a lot of that stuff as well, the infinite spin and stuff. What's nice about Finon is, if you guys haven't seen it right here, if the player's livestock would hit 0, this unit automatically activates destruction, sets livestock to his life to 1. So, I mean, you can't really check it in Sandbox, but pretty much, he's basically just, I guess, not Ichigo, but a watered down version in terms of like, he's just gonna be saving you, you know? If you die, you're getting saved. The thing is though, they don't mention like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna work the same way as Ichigo. If a boss kills you, hits you, you're just dead. But like if a regular enemy hits you, and you go down to 0, you go back to 1 with stock, and they'll get rewinded by 10 seconds, which is crazy. 10 seconds is a lot, you know? So let's say they were like over here, they'll get pulled back to over there, maybe even more. But yeah, overall this team's DPS is kind of crazy, and I guess I'll test against a moving boss so you can see how much they're stalling for. I have my Subarus on like some low SPA, it's not too bad. I'm not gonna be, of course, doing these guys. But yeah, we'll see how well this team can do against a moving boss. So I'll spawn in a boss, like, not moving boss, but like a moving enemy. So we'll spawn it over there and see if we can. We probably won't kill it, but we'll see, of course, how well the stalling is, and of course, how well things work. So let's get into it. Yeah, Loki, I can't be us waiting anymore, so let's just clear this enemy and spawn it in 1x speed, so let's go. So we got 10 point, was it 10.92? I think that looked like. So we go into this. It's not getting slowed yet because flipping our units want to lock in. But it's fine, having the repulse is enough. Infinite spin is on as well, so that's nice. There you go, infinite spin locking in. And then we use the F ability. And then we, of course, use this. And then into Q for the stun. That's nice. We got slow on the boss as well. We'll use it. R ability. I kind of fucked up as well. And now we just spam this for now. And then once T is available, we'll use Shift T. Of course, we'll use Q first. So Q. Shift T after this. And then double E. We can go back into Luffy again. So we just go back into here. And we just keep running this. That's all we have to do. As you see, we already took on a half health off. It's crazy. And you can see stalling on the boss is kind of crazy as well. I mean, not really a boss, but like the enemy in it. R ability. I got it right this time as well. Keep going. Infinite spin coming in clutch as well. That's why Luffy's so good. And got the stun as well. F ability. Into T. Into Q with the stun. There you go. See, perfect. And then we just keep attacking for now. I can use Shift T now, and not yet, or in a bit. R ability for the little burn here as well. And we just keep going. Shift T for the damage. Q for the stun. And double E for the nuke. I don't have any like high crit chance on him, so of course the nuke might not be critting, but you can see how much damage we are doing. It's crazy. So now we just keep going again, and you can see that the boss is legit just not making it. It's been like 3 minutes, I guess. 3 minutes since I spawned this boss. And yeah, you can see even with 3 minutes in, the enemy has not even made it to there. So yeah, that's pretty much, you can see how well this team does. It has a lot going for it, and even if the enemy does leave your unit's range, like you can set so you can hit the closest here on a cone. But let's see, even if they leave, you got Finon's full map nuke, just of course constantly hitting them every like 15 to 17 seconds, so it's crazy. Okay guys, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. If you guys have any other like video ideas or like what other units you want me to check out, or any like team compositions or any unit combinations, just let me know. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.